And today we're covering a dual lesson that I think will be quite fascinating. The first part will be the swing cut and how to do so. It looks like this in performance or in quick succession multiple times. It looks like that. And how it can be used for card placement and stuff of that nature. As well as a casual spread replacement of a card. So in this case, let's say this is the card. We can casually spread it out, the spectator, in just a casual manner. Assuming there would be a spectator, we would keep our hands like this. Spectator can place their card anywhere they want. They can push it in as much as they can. We show the card, and then we square everything up, being able to retain the card to where we need it for whatever purpose. In this case, game break above it, when I eventually do the cuts, which we'll cover in section 2, we get the card to the top. So, with that said, let's get into it. Starting with the swing cut. The swing cut, again, will look like this, and we'll cover all the fundamentals and basics of it. In essence, we start off by gripping the deck in a mechanics grip. Forefinger right here, 3 fingers along the sides, thumb right here. And then the recessive hand comes over, picks up the deck with the first and second finger, and then the thumb in the back. Okay, so I say recessive to mean the less dominant hand. So dominant, recessive, that's what I mean by that, for that terminology. Now to do the cut itself, from the first finger, second finger being on the right hand of the pack, right edge. In this case, for the recessive being my right hand, be on the right edge, thumb at the back, as you can see the placement. Okay. Now, having done this, let me adjust the mirroring so we can make it a little better, so you can see it a little bit better. And right here. Okay, so continuing, we will now do a swing cut like so. We use our forefinger to lift up and out on the pack. So, up and out. Lifts up, lifts out. So for mechanics, first finger, second finger, thumb from the back. Forefinger lifts up and out. Now, continuing on, what we do is we grip the pack, the upper pack, between this wedge or the meat of the hand, this web of the hand right here. Our hand goes in, and it clips it. In the rudimentary version, there's multiple versions. There's some people who like to do different versions, but we'll just start off by describing this one. We go between the web and hand. The thumb clips the packet. So again, dominant hand comes over, clips the edge of the packet right here, and it takes it off right here. So now it's clipped in the thumb palm. Or it's like a thumb palm for coins, per se. And then from there, we let our hand relax. Pinky can come from behind, because if we don't support it, it can fall out of the hand. So, going back. Mechanics grip, first, second finger, thumb from the back. Forefinger goes up and out. Hand goes, the card packet from the upper edge right here goes into the web of the hand. Thumb clips it right here. Pinky then starts to relax. The whole hand starts to relax. And the pinky will come from the back so that we don't have the cards falling out. And we get it right here. And so it's relaxed in a straddle-ish grip that you could eventually move your pinky out of. Once it's down here, you relax it back to here. And then from here, these fingers, the middle finger and thumb, is holding this packet right here, with the forefinger just coinciding now, coming back to here. So we're right here. And then we can just plop the cards on top. So to add the everything together in slow motion, mechanics grip, first, second finger and thumb, up and out with the forefinger, between the meat of the hand, clipping right here. We relax, letting the cards fall, they readjust, and then we take this pack and just plop it right on top. That's in slow motion, medium motion. So once you get more advanced, you won't even need the pinky from the back. You'll learn that if you have it balanced just the right way, you can do it like so. And you realize quite quickly that you can actually do it in multiple practice for practice purposes. You can lift up and out another packet, thumb clips it so you can take it, thumb clips so you can take it, and so you can do it multiple times in quick succession, like so. Again, one last time in slow motion. Clip, out, relax. Up and out, clip, takes the next packet. Up and out, thumb clips, takes the next packet, and you can plop it. So that is the swing cut in essence. Now using it for a card selection, so let's say the card is the 6 of hearts in this case. We have the card selected by a normal means, whether it be dribble, which we covered in previous videos, or the card spread, however you choose. Let's say we got the 6 of hearts right here. We do not know the card though, assuming we don't know the card. We would then do a swing cut, up and out, and then we can have the card replaced, and we can show the card, and then get a break above or below, determining whether we want it to go to the top of the pack or the bottom of the pack. Assuming it is the top of the pack, you want to get a break above. If you want it to go to the bottom of the pack when you control it, you get a break below the card. It's placed on top. And that is that. So, continuing on, we've got so we can also, there's some ideas we can play with that. I should just mention some ideas. One idea is you can actually have the spectator tell you when to stop. They say stop. And then you can start the swing cut right there where they said so. And then they can place their card back. Ask for the replacement. They do so. And we always show it twice, just for good measure. And then adding that swing cut subtlety we did earlier, we can swing cut as long as we retain a pinky break wherever above or below for the selection. We can then swing cut the cards on top, and it looks like a great mix, but you're still retaining a break on that 6 of hearts selection. So that is that. And then later in section 2, we'll cover controls, so then we can take that card to the top. And we'll go into great detail on that in a bit. So the next one is the casual spread return. Now this is one I got kind of excited about, and I think it's a great thing to introduce early on to people getting into Magic. I just think it's a great technique. In essence, we have, as I had covered before, we have card spread, and I would do this with 2 people, but we would have the card spread. They can return their selection. I'm just doing it for Magic spread purposes. They're normally the second spectator. I just have the cards casually spread like this. The cards can be returned wherever they want. They try pushing it in as much as they can. I show it to them again. You always try to show it twice. And then we can square up the pack like so. And we've got a break to the selection. And when we do control it, we have complete control of it. So in essence, for this one, we do a casual spread, a in-the-hand spread, which I covered in a previous video. We spread the cards, and then we don't have to do a wide spread. It's a smaller, more controlled one, because our thumb is going to come into play of this. Now I'm using my thumb to retain this spread, just for example purposes. Normally you'd want to do it with another spectator. This spectator takes the card, they look at it, they memorize it, and then they can place it pretty much anywhere in the middle they like. You say place it somewhere in the center, and then they have a free choice to place it wherever. They insert it, and then as soon as they insert it, they're going to want to push it in and give it a full square. Now it's going to be kind of difficult to retain it from that point onward, unless you're really clever. So what we opt for is we use a thumb to put pressure downwards on the pack, so it makes it harder for them to push in their card. You can determine how much pressure is right for you. You only want it to go about halfway in, or maybe 3/4 of the way in. We don't want it to be fully square. So we can show the card one last time. They see it. It seems very fair. So they try to push it in. We have our thumb above the cards, not on the actual selection, but above the cards. So we can have it right here. It becomes harder to push in, whereas it normally be very easy. So you can see it with the easy, but as soon as I put pressure, it becomes very difficult. So we push it on inside. They push it about there. We show it one last time, and we do the action. The larger action covers a smaller action. Magic theory, very valuable. As we come down, we can pull. Use our thumb shifts from where it was from the upper cards right here, down to the selection, and we pull everything to the dominant hand, be it your right or left. In this case, my left. So we pull it over here, and that makes it very easy to insert our pinky and get a break above or below the selection. So let's say you want to take the card to the bottom, we show it, and then we pull everything below the selection to the dominant hand, in this case my left. Now we get a break below it, and then we can square everything, and now I've got the card to be controlled, the selection to be controlled to the bottom of the deck, and I can just do this, and now it's controlled to the bottom of the deck. And we'll cover that triple cut in another video in greater detail, and the possibilities of it as well. So they return it right here. I put pressure on it so it cannot go much further. It becomes very difficult. I pause, I show the card, I pull everything to the left. We're going to assume the card's going to be controlled to the top. Pull everything to the left, including selection. Get a break above it. And then from this point, we can square everything. And knowing that I got a secure break below the selection is nice. I then square everything up. And then we use our forefinger right here of the dominant hand to cover the break, if there is any break there. We can also opt to use our thumb to put pressure downwards, so their break goes from here to here. That's a useful tip. So thumb putting pressure goes from showing an obvious break in the pack, thumb pressure, most of it's gone. So your choice, forefinger or thumb. And then from there, we can be casual, we can relax for a second, we can talk to the spectator, mention what's transpired so far, and then we can cut the pack like so, controlling that 6 of hearts to the top. So that is the casual spread replacement, which is very, very useful to create casualness that the card goes in anywhere, and you can control it very convincingly to the spectator. And then also, as well as a swing cut for the replacement of a card. To the top or bottom, whichever you choose, for the replacement. And can even, one final idea I'd like to provide for the swing cut is the idea of being able to use it as also a selection. This is like a last ditch one, but I'll put 6 of hearts aside. We won't use that in our example. Just goes aside. And here's the idea where we can just say, I'm going to go across the cards. You just tell me when to stop whenever you like. There you say stop. And then you can show off a selection. So it can also be used in selecting a card as well. So just different odd ideas I'd like to throw out there and just to play with. So hope you enjoyed all of that. Wishing everyone well, and see you in the next video.